Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. When you move, I'll move. I will follow.
I am a district court judge in the 30th Judicial District, which is the 7 counties: Haywood, Jackson, Macon, Swain, Clay, Graham, and Cherokee, everything from here to Murphy. The cases that I handle are misdemeanor criminal cases, DSS cases, divorces, custody, child support, civil actions that are, not to the same level as going to Superior Court. Lots of times, what I end up doing is listening to people. For lots of the young folks in criminal court, they've not been listened to. I place expectations on them when nobody's ever expected anything of them. Sometimes I'm telling them they're worth something. Sometimes I'm holding them accountable. It changes for every circumstance.
My name's Rachel Dotson. I'm a judicial assistant. I work with Donna Forga. I've known Donna for 35 plus years. Donna is very in tune with people's feelings. She sends random cards for encouragement. She does anything she can do to help you as an individual, a community. That's her goal in life, I believe, is to help wherever she can help.
New Covenant makes it safe to be a place where you can be broken. And I had been at New Covenant long enough that I had forgotten that that's not the way it is everywhere else. And a couple of weeks ago, I had the chance to go to another church. And the difference was amazing. Because when I walked into that place, there was judgment. There was people who were not willing to let your past be behind you. And it was hurtful to be there. And New Covenant makes it okay to be broken. New Covenant encourages you to accept that you're broken so you can work on it. If you don't accept that there's a problem, you don't realize there's anything to be done. New Covenant, keep doing the things that we're doing, showing Christ to people in the community. Keep working at the soup kitchen. Be foster parents. Be somebody who listens. Encourage people that you see doing well, overcoming. There were people 25 years ago that gave me kind words that I remember today. Pray for me that I will have wisdom, that just because I have life experiences, that I won't be so quick to put everybody in my shoes, that I'll be open-minded and see that people are different. Right now, about 25 years ago, my husband left my children and I. It was one of the hardest times of my life. I didn't think I was ever going to be able to make it. And I was in the hospital, and one night, I just said, I can't do it anymore. And God said, you can. And in my conversation with God that night, I said, if you'll help me through this, I'll make sure nobody else has to do it alone. My dad was the most amazing man in the world. And there were 8 girls that were the oldest and the 2 boys that were the youngest. So we grew up doing everything big. The first thing I drove was a dump truck, pulling another dump truck, not just driving it, I was pulling another dump truck. And there was always this sense that you could be afraid, but fear didn't keep you from doing what needed to be done. And with God's help, fear has not kept me from doing what needed to be done. I'm shy. I don't like being in front of people. And because the job that I think I'm supposed to be in is an elected position, I have to go tell everybody my life story. But when it's political, I get to say, this is by the grace of God. I get to say everything that I have accomplished is because of God. I'm not different than anybody else. And I really like that. I want to tell you one thing when it really hit me, that this is where I'm supposed to be. And it makes you think about how every little thing you do affects people. Just a couple of weeks after I was a judge, I was in court and I was doing 96-hour hearings. There were about 9 guys coming in. They were young, they were puffed up, they were being tough, and they had their family out there. And as I dealt with each one of them, they would go out. And finally, the last guy was standing there and he didn't have any family. And I knew he was a boy who had gone to elementary school with Josh. So I'm doing his hearing and I appoint his attorney and I am trying not to embarrass him because I know him. And at the end of my little spiel, I say, "Do you have any questions for me?" And he asked me a question which knocked me on my butt. He said, "Do you remember those blueberry pancakes you made for me?"
Wow.
And it was in the 3rd grade. So blueberry pancakes, 19 or 20 years ago. And he remembered it because that was when somebody cared. This is the place where I administer the law, but my ministry is all for one.
This life I lose, I will follow